on the broadcast last night, and I don't want to throw any water on your excitement. I find it refreshing. I find it somewhat exhilarating, but we do need to be realistic here. The following teams are going to be better than the Magic in the East. They've either stayed the same or just gotten better. Philadelphia, Brooklyn, Miami, Milwaukee, the Knicks, Atlanta, Boston, Indiana, Chicago, and Charlotte. That would put the Magic at best as the 11th best team in the Eastern Conference, which is right outside of the playoffs. Now, if they end up there or are lucky enough to be one spot higher with 10 teams getting into the postseason now, if the Magic are in a last-seeded play-in spot this year, this season was a massive success.
Absolutely.
So I do think it's possible, and I don't know how many other people other than us would say that.
I know,
do
that's
think
right.
It's possible that the Magic get in given the expanded playoffs in the NBA. But I have a feeling through our conversation, you are going to hype this team up more than they've got a chance to sneak in as a 10 seed with the best case scenario.
Well, no, remember, I've been saying this since the offseason. I've been saying this since NBA draft night, that a 10 seed is what I'm shooting for. That's my baseline. That's what I'm expecting out of this team because of the talent that sits on this team. I still recognize we're going to lose games. They're young, they're fresh, young talent, all of that kind of stuff. But I am shooting for that 10th spot because there are 10 spots now. So if there are 10 spots with only, 14 teams, then you could definitely put me in there, that 10th spot. But this team is special, man. And I wasn't like this before. I didn't think this before. I thought they were, a collection of great talent that we're going to see what's going to happen. You heard me, old man ran about young talent and unproven assets and all that kind of stuff. But what I saw last night and what I've seen over the course of this team's development has completely changed my tune. Last night was a magnificent example of how special this team is. And it's a different kind of special. And I'm writing about this on the 96-90 Game blog post that I'm putting out today. But this isn't Dwight's team. This isn't Shaq's team. This isn't Heart and Hustle. This is a different kind of special. This is a different kind of team because these guys love each other in a way that I have never seen on a basketball court in my life. I've watched a lot of basketball in my life. I've covered basketball for 20 plus years. Never in my life have I seen something like this. Never in my life have I seen a group of people who appreciate each other like this, who enjoy each other's company like this, who support each other and root for each other like this. When Downton hit that shot, that last second shot last night, you would have thought every other player on the sideline hit that shot. The way they felt about it, the way they celebrated him. There's something special here. And I want to warn Magic fans, don't screw it up, treating it like old Magic teams.
What exactly does that mean, treating it like old Magic teams? What would that
Because
mean?
we get into this position where we demand things out of the team. We have expectations out of this team. We want them to hurry up and get better. We drag them for their mistakes and their miscues and things like that. And we don't understand what we have, which is a young team that's not going to lose a lot of games. That's not going to win a lot of games. Then we don't take the time to appreciate the special that we're watching in this moment. All we do is look forward to, well, how long is it going to take us to start winning? When can we get back to championships? We get in that space where it's the loss of previous seasons, not Shaq walking away and Dwight walking away, but we were almost there so many times. When can we finally get over the hump?
Yeah.
And if we treat this team like this, they are going to go away because they deserve more than that. I don't use that D word often, but they do. They deserve more than that.
Well, hopefully you're right. The thing that I don't disagree with a lot of what you just said. I think that this team has a chemistry about them that we've seen early on that can be different than anything we've seen before. I was asked by somebody who hosts a Magic specific podcast.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Magic team ever? And my first thought was, man, how quickly could this team become the answer to that question?
Heck, yeah.
I'm not ready to go there yet. They haven't even played a real regular season game together, so it would be hasty to say that. But it does have the making of being one of those teams. We're not saying best team ever.
No.
We're saying as a fan of the team, which one do you're so overjoyed when they are able to have great moments like Jeff Doughton hitting a game-winning shot,
Yes.
when they're beating a team that they're not supposed to, when they're winning a couple of games in a row where you're like, oh my God, is there something here? This team has the making to be all of that. The thing I worry about isn't so much about the fans. I think that's an interesting point that it could be the fans that actually end up dragging their morale down.
Yeah.
I worry about the losses because they are going to pile up. This isn't going to be a team that wins a lot of games. So can they keep this exuberant attitude that makes them so likable that will give them a chance to win? Because if they play together and they're talented, they're going to win games because of it.
Yeah.
Can they keep that together when the losses start piling up? That's the thing that concerns me about this team, because I don't want to get too over the top with it if it's something where losses pile up and all of a sudden that excited
that attitude shifts.
Yeah, that positive, young, energetic attitude by game 40, you're like, crap, I don't see it anymore, because then it's just another basketball team.
But see, that's what I think is different about this team. And one of the reasons that they're special is because that energy that we see, that attitude that we see, that freshness that we see, I don't think it has everything to do with playing basketball. I was going to say much to do, but it does have much to do with playing basketball. But I don't think it has everything to do with playing basketball. I think a lot of that energy comes from they just really like each other. Like RJ Hampton, Mo Bamba, Markelle Fultz, Jalen Suggs, Robin Lopez. Like when he hit that shot, I literally saw a glimmer in each one of their eyes. These are the kind of guys that I feel like if I was out on a basketball court in Sanford, downtown somewhere, just playing a pickup game, and Cole Anthony drove by and saw me nail a three-pointer backwards or something like that, he would hop out of his car and run over and throw his arms around me and give me a hug and celebrate me. That's the kind of energy I'm seeing, and I think it's because they care about and enjoy playing with each other so much.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, if I'm seeing it correctly, I believe that they can probably withstand those losses.
Listen to the energy in this call. This is a preseason NBA game. This is the game winner last night. So unless that noise is just coming from the Magic bench as we're praising for all of this energy, it feels like Magic fans already kind of get it.
They feel it, man. And that was one of the things I was telling you before the show is when it was about the middle of the fourth quarter and you're watching this game and you're seeing that the Magic have a chance to win this game. And then it gets down to about 3 minutes left to go and we're trading 1-point leads with Boston, right? And it's down to about 10 seconds left to go. Somebody calls a timeout. You could feel the energy rising from the middle of the fourth quarter. And then at that last timeout, everybody did their job perfectly. D. Strong was the best announcer that was crawling for the crowd to get louder that you've ever heard in your life. Stuff was the best mascot you've ever seen in your life. The Magic 407 team that was out there danced better than they ever did before. The shirts that they were shooting out of the cannons shot farther than I've ever seen them. Like it was the perfect
They were
storm.
going to the kid that needed it the most.
Yes, and it was the perfect environment for everything. And so that moment was so electric. And they were doing all of the right things leading up to it. Second chance shot, third chance shot, Mo Bamba blocking this shot, Cole Anthony blocking shots. And so it led to that moment. And that electricity was so absolutely natural. So I think the fans that are there watching it, I think they get it. I hope it's all of the people that are watching on TV, listening to sports talk shows, listening to podcasts that have this, oh, the Magic will never be any good. We've heard that in this building down and around the corner. I hope it's not
the studio.
Yeah. I hope it's not those guys that drown away the specialness of what this season's going to be.
Yeah, I don't want to hear like, oh, this Magic are stuck and all of that. As long as they are moving in the right direction, that's all I want to see. I think the Magic are set up to be lovable losers, and I know that, I mean, they're so young, they're so energetic, they're so positive. The Magic kind of remind me of what we're watching right now in the NBA or the NFL with the Detroit Lions.
Yes.
The Lions are losing all of their games, but they're doing it in a way where they play harder than anybody.
They sure do.
Just don't have quite enough to put them over the top. And then listen to Dan Campbell After their loss, they were up on Minnesota with seconds left, and then Minnesota drives on the field. There's 3 seconds on the clock. They kick a game-winning field goal. The Ravens did it to them the week before.
Yep.
This is Dan Campbell truly in tears in the post-game press conference. I mean, how do you cheer against the Lions?
Exactly. And that's exactly what's happening. We're all becoming pseudo miniature Lions fans, waiting for them to get that win because we've watched them be crushed. And we know a lot of those games they should have won.
Yeah,
they
this
should have won.
This
those
is not
games.
a team. There are teams that you watch that have a similar. That's why records don't tell the whole story.
Yeah.
There are teams that have a similar record to the Lions that are downright depressing to watch.
Absolutely.
Watching the Jaguars, despite the fact that I love their quarterback's future, watching the Jaguars is depressing. Watching the Dolphins is depressing.
Yes.
Watching the Lions isn't, even though they never end up winning the game.
That's right.
That team plays hard, and you can see that they are walking in the right direction.
That's
They're
right.
just not there yet. And we get to see that this year with the Magic.